Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're stepping into the ring for a major head-to-head showdown in the noise-canceling headphone world. In one corner, we've got a brand new contender that's aiming for the title, and in the other, a legendary champion that has basically defined the category for years. Okay, let's get right to the tail of the tape. In this corner, the challenger, the brand new JBL Tour One M3, released just 9 months ago. And in the other corner, the reigning champ, the iconic 5-year-old Sony WH-1000XM4. Now check this out. Their overall scores are practically identical. One's a fresh face, and the other is a seasoned veteran that is still at the absolute top of its game. So how is that even possible?
To figure this out, we're going to break this comparison down into 5 key rounds. We'll look at their core identities, their endurance, the sound quality, how they handle day-to-day life, and of course, the price.
All right, first up, let's set the stage for this fight. We've got Sony's XM4, which has been the industry standard for a long time. It's the benchmark everyone else tries to beat. And facing it is the JBL Tour One M3, a powerful newcomer that's looking to steal that crown. Let's see how they really measure up. Let's dive into round 1, the endurance test. You know, in the world of wireless headphones, stamina is absolutely everything. Let's see who can go the distance. Whoa, and I mean, right out of the gate, the difference here is staggering. It's not even close. The JBL M3 boasts an incredible 70 hours of listening time. 70! Meanwhile, the Sony XM4 clocks in at 30 hours. That's more than double the battery life. A massive advantage for anyone who just hates being tethered to a charger. Let that sink in for a second. A 40-hour difference. That's nearly 2 full extra days of playback before you even need to start thinking about finding an outlet. This just brilliantly shows the massive advantage of newer battery technology. If you're a heavy user or you travel a lot, this alone could be a total game changer. And here's the final punch. In the endurance round, the JBL not only lasts way longer, but it also gets back in the fight faster. It gets to a full charge in just 2 hours, a whole hour quicker than the Sony. Less waiting, more listening. But look, endurance is one thing, but it's not the whole thing, right? Let's get to the main event, the sound quality. This is where a pair of headphones truly earns its reputation. So before we jump into the numbers, let's just quickly break down a key spec you'll see. Lowest frequency. What does that actually mean for your music? Well, it basically tells you how deep the bass can go. The lower that number, the more of that deep, rumbling, juicy bass you're going to feel. And this is where we see a real split decision. On paper, the Sony looks like it has the edge, right? It can reach an incredible 4 Hz for deeper bass, and it uses powerful neodymium magnets, which usually give you a more detailed, punchy sound. However, the JBL is rated to play louder, and maybe more importantly, when we look at what actual users say, the JBL actually scores a little bit higher on overall sound quality. It's a classic case of what the specs say versus the real-world experience. Okay, let's move on to the practical stuff. The features that you're going to notice in your everyday life, from taking calls on the go to just wearing them for hours and hours. First thing, let's talk call quality. The JBL is packing a total of 8 microphones. For comparison, the Sony has 5. So does having 3 extra microphones really make a difference when you're on the phone? Or is it just a number they put on the box? Oh, it absolutely makes a difference. Think about it. Those extra mics are constantly working to figure out what's your voice and what's just background noise, like wind, traffic, or a busy coffee shop. The result? A much clearer call for whoever's on the other end of the line. Now this is fascinating. If you put them on a scale, the Sony headphones are technically a little bit lighter, but, and this is a big but, when you look at the user comfort scores, the JBLs get a perfect 10 out of 10. That actually beats the Sony's already excellent 9.3 score. And real-world feedback totally confirms it. One user, Tadyboy, just summed it up perfectly. Super comfortable. So this tells me that despite the tiny bit of extra weight, the design, the materials, and the way the JBLs fit just creates a better overall experience for long listening sessions. So the crucial point here is that this isn't some one-sided fight. Each one of these has unique perks that might be the deciding factor for you. The JBL has the newer Bluetooth 5.3 for a more stable connection, plus a tangle-free cable, which is nice. But then the Sony wins on weight. It supports Dolby Atmos for that immersive movie experience, and it has a physical mute button.
a simple but fantastic feature for conference calls.
And now, we've come to the final round, and for a lot of us, this is where the decision really gets made, the price tag.
And this is where the fight gets really interesting. The newer, feature-packed JBLs come in at a premium price of around $350. But the veteran Sony, since it's been on the market for a while, can often be found renewed for about half that, around $175. That's a huge difference. So that brings us to the final verdict, and it really honestly depends completely on your priorities. If you want the absolute best battery life money can buy, the latest tech, and what users are calling perfect comfort, then the JBL is your champion. But if you're looking for world-class performance, deeper bass, and just incredible value for your money, then the Sony is pretty much impossible to ignore.
So the choice is yours. Do you go with the brand new contender that's built like a marathon runner for the long haul? Or do you stick with the legendary seasoned champion that still delivers a knockout performance at a fraction of the price? It's a tough call.